Well, hello everybody, I hope you are doing well. I have really enjoyed doing these storytime videos, so I've got another one for you. And since I have put out 2 snake videos and they have been the most watched videos so far, I got one more for you. And then I don't ever want to talk about a snake as long as I live after this. Probably will, but not anytime soon. So I talked to you about the different stories about attending a snake handling church and having someone put dead snakes in our driveway. And if you don't know, you can go look in my YouTube archives and watch those. While you're doing that, please be sure to subscribe to this video and also like this video so it can get out there to whoever needs to get to. I don't know, trying to create a field guide for everyday Christian life. And this one is not gonna help you at all, except to laugh at me. All right, so here it goes. So when we first launched our church, we were, it was in 2012, and we were mobile, which meant we met in a movie theater and we would have to set up and tear down every week. And it was hard. It was very, very hard. A lot of churches do it for a long time. We only did it for a year. I've known people who've done it for like 10. So everyone's got their own journey, right? Well, one of the things that we had to do is we would have to set up everything that would be in the screening room for our auditorium for the day. And a lot of times we would have them neat and kind of tucked away. We would leave some of our totes out because as soon as church was over with, we had to pack everything back up, and we had to do it quickly. Like there would be times where movies would be about to happen and we would be trying to put everything away, and folks would already come in to watch their movie, and they would sit and they just eat popcorn and watch us tear everything down, and it would be hilarious. And we had this one new team member, I loved him so much. He would get frustrated and he said, "Hey, you're not doing anything. Why don't you hand me that?" And he'd get people motivated to help him. So one of the things we would do is our audio guy, we would have to run this thing called an audio snake. And what it is it's called an audio snake because it was a whole bunch of cords wrapped up in one big cord, and it looked like a big snake, and it would wrap all the way down and then all the way back up to where our audio system was. Well, we would put it in this big tote, and in order to kind of keep us from having to pick it up multiple times, he would just set it beside our sound system. And it was out of the way, and we'd use it a lot of times to put stuff on. Wasn't a big deal. Well, it was a black tote with a yellow lid. And that was right beside the front door, or the door people would walk in. And we would label everything so we knew where it was. And so at some point, we had labeled that tote Audio Snake, so we knew what it was. And anyone who's involved in audio stuff, you know exactly what that is, right? Well, somebody one time thought it would be really funny, and they had a marker and they marked out audio and they put an S on the back side of that word snake. And so what happened is you would walk right into the auditorium, and the first thing you would see is a big yellow tote lid that just said snakes on it. And I didn't know this. And we had just started the church, and I would meet with as many people as I could, just tell them about our church, tell them about everything going on. And one of the things that kept coming up was, "Pastor, we really like your church, but we've got some concerns." That always made me feel insecure. I was like, "Concerns? Oh goodness, what's your concerns?" And they'd kind of beat around the bush about this. And they said, "You're from Alabama, right?" "Yeah, I'm from Alabama. I'm working on my accent. Hope it's not too thick." No, that's fine." "What part of Alabama are you from?" I'd talk to them, didn't know. Finally say, "Okay, all right, okay. You don't handle snakes, do you?" And I would, "Well, no, I don't handle snakes. What in the world do you?" "Of course I." "Okay, well, hey, we're sorry. And honestly, it got to where I would get frustrated. I'd be like, "Hey, look, I know I'm from Alabama, but you are the one from Kentucky. You're just as bad as I am. We're rednecks, y'all are hillbillies. We all got problems, And I'd get frustrated, and I'd try to hide it. But man, I'd get upset. And it happened over and over and over. And somehow, people get around to it in different ways, but finally it get around to the whole point of, do you handle snakes? And I would just get so frustrated. And one Sunday, our church is probably about 5-6 months old at this point, and it had been happening a lot. And we would always meet right by that door going into that screening room. And we'd always meet right before church. We'd pray together. And one day I just said, "Guys, I just need to tell you something. I need y'all to pray for me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just so frustrated. People keep asking us if we handle snakes. I'm terrified of snakes. I don't think that that's biblical to handle snakes, but for some reason, people keep asking me if we handle snakes. I need y'all to pray for me. I can't figure out where it's coming from, but it's really making me mad." And there was a silence, and then people started laughing. Well, I didn't think it was funny. It's like, what? I am done with this. And they go, no, Pastor, we are so sorry. We don't mean to do that. We just need to tell you about something. And they show me the tote lid that said snakes. And I had one question. Who did this? I was so unhappy. I was like, you mean to tell me for the past 6 months, every single joker who walked through this front door thought that we handled snakes? I was so mad. And I never found out who did it. But I did chase our audio guy all over that theater because he said he might have done it. So I can't prove to you who did it. But we never had that tote there ever again. I right then and there marked that thing out. And they were like, Pastor, what are you doing? We're not going to know what goes into it. I said, I bet you from now on, everybody's going to know exactly what goes into that tote because of what's been happening to me. And so I have, to this day, when I meet with people and they find out I'm from Alabama, more than likely I'll say, by the way, we don't handle snakes. And they look at me so weird, like, yeah, I'm like, don't worry. I just want to make sure that word gets out from now on, all right? So from now on, if you ever attend Real Life Church in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and you're ever curious if that Alabama accent guy up on stage has ever handled a snake, the word is no, and it ain't never gonna happen. So, hope you enjoyed my story.